episode's brought to you by the Whiskey Wizard. We talked about your attire with Tim. We got to get you a nice white coat, maybe some suspenders. You looking like Albert Einstein. You guys let us know what you think. This guy's brilliant. We're going to do a blend today. We're going to walk through a couple of different bottles. First things first, which whiskey should we try to basically start the process? Because if you haven't had a drink today, I haven't.
I have not had a sip today.
That's what I'm saying. So what would you choose to like get the palate going?
Probably just something easy going. Probably just a regular Elijah Craig, something low proof, just to kind of get your palate acclimated. That would work for a bourbon. This would work for a rye.
Is Elijah normally 94?
No, they have different, they have a toasted. They also have like a barrel proof. So the barrel proof is going to be, it'll change with the batch that they do. But that one is generally 94, their regular offering.
And I know that Elijah's one of them ones that people can buy everywhere, basically.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And blend with as they see fit. So let's warm up the chopper. These will be the chopper warm-up cups. Cool. Now, Richard, we asked this before, and I think it's going to continue to grow, meaning your love for whiskey, man. What is it that you love about it most? And I'm asking because Richard now is in the whiskey business. Yeah. And part of being in the whiskey business is like, oh, you're on the inside now. No longer just a consumer. You're blending things that, I'm going to show you guys. It's in the room. I'll go get it in a second, but we knocked down that double vision last night and he blended that. What made that bottle special? Why did you think that was going to work?
Especially around this time of the year, I always love ryes.
Yep.
They're usually when like Starbucks starts making the pumpkin spice, that's when the ryes start coming out of the cabinet. So I did that one because we love ryes, and it noses kind of like more like a Kentucky rye, like a barely legal, like a 51%. But then when you start getting it on the palate, there's a good bit of spice and some mint, and so it's warming, and it's just a good one that punches through outside. So if you're sitting by the fire and stuff like that with some friends, it's a good ride to have around.
Well, there you have it. Look, if you got access to the Whiskey Blendery, we literally cracked this yesterday at about 5, 6 o'clock, and this is all that's left. And when it gets this low, you got to finish it, right?
That's right. Y'all did some damage.
It got open yesterday and taken care of. Now, nice. Blending. What are we blending today, man? What's something that my bad. You said you never go into a situation under the pretense that here's what the goal is.
Sure. Yeah, I generally will play with the whiskey and see where it takes us. I'll try different things and just kind of get an idea of the different profiles in each one, and see if a few things get along with each other, and if so, which one we need a majority of, and if there's more than one or more than two that help it along, we'll just find out. That's the fun of it.
Well, go ahead, man. Start your process, guys. Cool. I'm simply Oprah Winfrey back here, but the drunk version. So if Oprah was a drunk, she'd hang out with guys like him, drink whiskey all day, and figure out how to make it better.
You get a pour, and you get a pour.
See? You see what I'm saying? So I know Richard has
That's nice. That's just easy going.
He has a good nose. He makes some crazy good notes, as we talked about. I can't wait for his perspective to continue to get bigger and bigger.
There's nothing wrong with Heaven Hill, man. Just easy sip and pour.
Isn't that Elijah
Easy
Craig,
to find, yep.
You said Heaven Hill.
Mm-hmm. So Elijah Craig's one of the lines at Heaven Hill.
Oh.
Distillery, yeah.
I had no clue. But I learned that the hard way. Hard way meaning the right way, because we went into Jim Beam on our way out. And I said, what are all these brands doing here?
Yep.
Tim goes, what do you mean? They own them all.
Larceny also Heaven Hill.
Oh.
Yep.
And this is a Heaven Hill guy.
I do love me some Heaven Hill.
Now, they are, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, they're the first distillery in Kentucky.
I don't know that to be true.
Let me look at that as well. So while you go ahead, run through, figure out what you want to start blending, I'll look up what's the first distillery in good old Kentucky. What's the first? And tell them what you're doing as you walk through the process.
I'm just looking at everything we've got right here. Just trying to figure out where to get started. We've got some ryes, we have some bourbons, we have some barrel proof stuff, we have some proof down stuff, we have some age stated stuff, we have an infinity project. So I think we're just going to try a few and kind of see where they take us. Kind of like, you take a bite of steak and then you take a bite of mashed potatoes, they taste good together, you know what I mean? So, or they don't, and in which case, you went down the wrong avenue.
So it's actually, get this, it's actually Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace is the oldest distillery in Kentucky.
It says Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky is the oldest continuously operating distillery in the United States, having started in 1787.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
It's right. Look, originally called Old Fire Cooper.
I feel like I should know that. Oh yeah. OFC. Yeah. I know that's a line they still release, and that's like a lot of their like I think those are really generally old. But I didn't know that they been around since the 1700s, or I guess 1800s.
Well, yeah, I mean, technically 1787,
Yeah.
We're going right into the 1800s. That is interesting, man. Ah, man. That's crazy. Well, now we know why Buffalo Trace tastes so good as well. They've got some history there. It literally reads they survived Prohibition and a bunch of other things. So you go, damn, that's interesting.
This is good. Just off the nose, this is really nice.
At Kentucky Spirit?
Yeah, it's a single barrel, so everybody that tries to buy this bottle, might be a little bit of a different experience.
And most of these bottles, people, to be clear, Richard bought some ones that you can buy. Tim gave me some ones you probably never get again.
That's great. Yeah, we should blend with that for sure. Yeah, that's real nice.
And which one is that?
The Kentucky Spirit.
So you
Looks like it was a Liquor Barn pick.
I don't know what that means.
Liquor Barn is a liquor store that's in Kentucky.
Jeez.
So Mr. Bruce's Neighborhood, it looks like is what it's called. Barrel 190248.
Guys, look, when you get together with the blend, everybody normally they get to try all the things. At the blender, we have something called the Battle of the Blends. And during the Battle of the Blends, you get to put together, 4 or 5 barrels, and then you turn around, try to come with the best flavor profile. Everyone meshes something different or creates something different, and it's magic in every flavor. But the first 15 minutes, I believe, everybody gets to try the whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Just to get perspective on what they're about to do. So this is the first 15 minutes of trying all the bottles that we were handed to see what he can come up with. I don't have the nose or the palate yet, but I can draw perspective because he does such a great job of describing kind of like what you're tasting. You go, oh shit, that is chocolate. Oh, that is cacao. Oh, that is kiwi or strawberry or raspberry or pickles.
Or pickles.
Especially some of those ryes, man.
Mm-hmm. So why is the rye one of the things that basically yields, I won't say a better nose, but a higher flavor? It's like they have more flavor than bourbons. Man.
They're spicier generally. A lot of people like a lot of the spice that's in a bourbon generally comes from either the rye content or the wheat content, or that's generally what's perceived. They think the corn is where more of the sweetness comes from. So if you have something like a 95.5 rye, where 95% of it is a rye grain, you do kind of get more spice. You get sometimes if it's Indiana specifically, you will get that dill note. A lot of people like. I also get it in. Canadian ryes that are generally like 100% rye.
Damn.
This is a wheated bourbon.
Larceny.
Yeah, and it's barrel strength. And I'm curious to see how well it will get along with our...
125?
Yeah. So
so let me ask you this. If you have this many bottles, which you don't need to drink this many bottles because we could make more videos, and you find 2 things that you like, you go, let me start here. And if you find something magical, you say, guys, if I were you, I'd get these 2 and blend.
Yep.
There you go.
If we get something like really good that is better than the 2 bottles, there's no reason to keep the 2 bottles. I'll just make it. You know what I mean? It's like, why would you? You know?
Hey, that's what he did last time. He made Saz on the Hill, did a little graffiti art and everything else.
I think it tasted better than the Heaven Hill or the Saz by itself.
I bought this when I was in Vegas and couldn't finish it, but it was like, it's like drinking water, but it's good. What you did with it made it unique, to say the least, because I wouldn't want either one of them by themselves. I could drink them, but together he was like, oh, we got to put that somewhere because that ain't going to last neither.
So that's good too. So I know I like this, and I know I like this. So I'm going to put them together and see how well they get along. I'm probably going to put a little bit more of this one in because this is barrel strength.
Okay.
And just kind of see where we end up.
And do your thing, man. It's good to know somebody who loves whiskey, people. I don't know Richard, what was your first passion? Playing guitar?
Definitely guitar for sure. Yeah. And I played hockey. I loved hockey too.
But guitar, yeah.
Damn, so you're a head buster, huh?
Yeah. Are you talking about hockey?
Yeah.
Or guitar?
Well,
no headbanging. Yeah, I don't like any of the screamo music.
But I like more classic rock and stuff like that, 70s stuff. But yeah, hockey we played
Defense, and that's a physical game.
Yeah, it looks brutal, man. I went to one game. I was like, that ain't for me, man. I ain't the kind of one person. I want somebody to hit me. I'm like, I need little joints I got left. They life.
It's a blast, man.
So walk them through where you start when you begin, because I know you said there's parameters, right?
Yeah. So the first thing I always do is I try to write down what I'm doing, because when you find something that you like, if you can't remember how to recreate it, it sucks. So I leave myself notes or breadcrumbs or whatever, to find my way back. But so right now I know I like the Kentucky Spirit, and I know that I like the Larceny Barrel Proof. The Kentucky Spirit is proof down to 50.5, and the Larceny Barrel Proof is Barrel Strength. So I'm going to do a little bit more Kentucky Spirit than I am going to do the Larceny. I think I'm going to start with 5 milliliters of the Kentucky Spirit and 2 milliliters of the Larceny and see if they get along.
And how do you know to start with this one more over this one?
Just because of the proof on it. Since this one's like 50.5, there's been some water added to it to kind of to mellow it out. And since this one is at barrel strength, doesn't have any water, so it's going to come in louder into the blend with less of it. Interesting.
That makes sense though too. That's basically dilute the water in it, right?
Yeah.
Add alcohol to the water, right?
Yep. And so here's 5 of the Kentucky Spirit. And these are good bottles. We're not just
now, these ain't even average bottles to be blended with. These are the kind you go, oh.
Yeah, these are perfectly suitable to drink by themselves.
And this is something that you guys can do at your home. The do-it-yourself side of this stuff, I think it's always fun. I've had more fun doing this kind of stuff. Like we were just talking about whiskey, which we talked about. I'm like, I don't know that we would have this much fun.
Oof. Sometimes you get lucky, man. It smells good. I don't know if it tastes good yet, but it smells nice.
And here I am still drinking that first pour. I'm like this. I ain't got to nothing else. I can't get to the blend or nothing. I'm like, shit. So you're smelling them all one by one. And what are you getting in terms of?
Well, I'm trying to like see because like you smell this one and you know it's both. So I'm trying to see what parts of the nose are from that and what parts of the nose are from that.
Oh man, I ain't gonna like that.
The nose on this is softer than the nose on either of those two. It's muted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm about to find out.
Exactly. Yeah. Fuck around and find out.
That's right. That's nice. There's a little bit of a sharpness to the proof in the mid palate that I think that we would need to blend out by either increasing one or the other or adding a third component. But it is nice. I mean, I do get some of my favorite parts of each one in that blend, but it's certainly not done yet.
That's the mad scientist in him talking. He's like, hey, there's still work to do.
Yeah, there's definitely still work to do.
Richard, how long does it on average take to come up with like a crazy good blend?
It depends. I mean, the expressions better be lucky than good. You know what I mean?
I just heard that one. I never heard that one.
Oh, it's the truth, man. You take layups whenever life gives them to you. Yeah. But
because a 3's hard. Like Steph Curry make it look easy, but they be like this. Y'all niggas ain't Steph Curry.
So I mean, you try stuff till you get it right, and you learn from everything that you do. And so sometimes you try stuff and it's right off the bat. And if it's right off the bat, you don't fight it. You might try to see if you can make it even better. You know what I mean? Or get it surrounded and make sure you were right where you were. But like, yeah. So I mean, we've had stuff that we can do knockout. First try. 10, 15 minutes. Wow, thank you. That's great. Other stuff where it's like, it's close and we'll spend days to a week dialing it in. And there have been things where we've, started, worked on, put a bunch of time into it and still not there. And, put it on the back burner and come back to it, later. But there's things that have been in the works for a month or two that aren't done.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. So which bottle do you think you're going to add next, or are you just going to change the variables?
Well, I just tasted the Kentucky Spirit by itself, and I like the front of the palate better on the Kentucky Spirit than on the blend. But afterwards, I like our blend better. So now I'm going to try the Larceny and then go back to the blend again and just see. I might would add a little bit more Larceny, like try a 5.3.
Like, this is like a guy telling me how to fix a car. I have no clue what's going on. I'm just listening and trying to learn as much as I can, man.
Well, I feel like some of the sharpness came from the water possibly cutting the Larceny. Like, possibly the Larceny wants to be blended with a barrel strength product, and since we're adding a little bit of water to it, I feel like that may have broke it or broke the oil or made it just a little bit sharper. And so I want to try just a little bit more of the Larceny to take a little bit more of the water out of the blend.
You think that'll smooth it out some?
It might. It's funny because, you know, as you add water, the proof goes down, so that should make things easier. But a lot of times if you add water to a rye and you didn't add a ton of water, or you add water to things that are very viscous and they're not meant to take water, it'll thin them out, but it can also make them very sharp. It can make the proof stand out.
Interesting.
Yep.
Man.
Water is a double-edged sword on stuff. It can open things up, but it can also take away what made the whiskey special to begin with. And every whiskey is different depending upon how it's going to handle water.
Shit.
Yeah. Also, adding water in stages can help it along versus like if you add all the water at one time to like proof down a barrel, you can hurt it that way too.
Damn, boy, whoever thought about hurting whiskey?
It works like baking. I didn't know that. Like I've learned that. Like, you know how you'll feather sugar into the mixer while it still mixes it in. You don't take the whole measuring cup and just dump it in there. You know what I mean? Like you get clumpy and then it doesn't work. Yeah, whiskey can kind of be that way too.
Damn, that's interesting. And I've seen that actually take place where they're like slowly adding water to the side, and that even the mixer thing that they have, people just take their time. So you can, damn. What do you need, another glass?
I think I'm gonna try a 5.3. I'm gonna use this glass. I'm good.
Okay, boom. You grab a couple more while you continue to work your magic, man.
So if 5.3 was sharper than my 5.2,
yeah,
then I'm gonna assume that the sharpness is coming from the proof of the Larceny and not that the water is breaking the oiliness of the Larceny. And I'll go backwards even more, and I'll add more Kentucky Spirit.
Sharpness when you actually tried the Larceny by itself?
There's a proof to it, but it's it's pretty round.
I didn't try the Larceny.
It's good. It's got some oomph to it, but it's a nice pour.
This is 120 something proof. Though. It's the middle of the afternoon. You go.
Yep.
Yeah, 125.
All right.
It's like drinking oil. Gasoline.
3.
Te le gusta la. Oh yeah,
pretty good, huh? Or jet fuel. You like it, or is it too hot?
It's way warmer. What did I pour? I don't even remember what I poured to start. I think Elijah.
Oh yeah, you were coming from an Elijah 94 proof Elijah Craig.
I just went up 30 points in that.
You stayed in the same distillery though. That's cool.
It's the same gas.
Yeah. Five 2, 5.3. Okay, 5.3's kind of shadier on the nose. Different glass still, but. That smells nice.
You could be the sommelier of what's that thing called? Sommelier? How you say it?
Sommelier?
Somalian?
Sommelier?
No, I'm playing with you, man. of whiskey. Yeah, I don't get the sharpness that I got before. It kind of smells like a tree.
A tree?
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Do they have those in the whiskey states? Sommeliers?
Mm-hmm. What do they call? Yeah.
I think some people call them sommelier. Like there's like a whiskey school or something in Austin where they say that they will train you for that. Like I think they call it like the Whiskey Tribe or something. I'm not hip to it. You know, I don't keep up on the YouTube that much, but I've heard the term applied to wine, but I do think that they've either borrowed it and used it for whiskey, or it's actually a thing, but I'm not sure. Most of the whiskey accreditations that I know about are more like apprenticing at a distillery with a large heritage, and then working under that master distiller, and kind of then being given the reins later.
I know sommeliers originated back in the King times where they actually were supposed to taste food and wine just to make sure it wasn't poison for, the king or whatever. So that's where the term originated from.
Huh.
And then, and then translated into wine more specifically. And I wasn't sure if there was another version of that for whiskey.
Sure. I don't know. I'm sure there is. Most of I know that, the people that taste for editorials or work on panels or, judges for San Francisco spirits competitions and things like that, I'm sure they have a title. And their palates are highly regarded and their skill sets are marketable. And so I'm sure there's a professional title that they work under. I don't know what it is.
So what are you getting? Are you getting what you thought you would get?
Oh, I'm getting more of the Heaven Hill for sure. And it's a little bit darker, and I do think that I don't think it's any less proofy, but it did round out that mid palate hump thing that was going on in the 5.2. It's more interesting. Yeah, it's got more of a personality.
Interesting, man. This is a guy who's trying to make up his mind about what to do next, and that's the funny part.
Yeah. All the proof's on the finish now. I'm going to try the Larceny by itself and see if it has more of a proofy finish than the blend.
So you're constantly tasting, and so at what point does your palate get so blown you no longer can make judgments like you do?
It will. So right now I'm not trying to be. Right now I'm shooting with a shotgun instead of like a microscope. You know what I mean? I don't need to be as precise right now. I can figure it out because we're not making. Like if I had 5 different blends and they were all 1 milliliter apart and I was trying to figure out which one was the best one and they were all different, I would be having to go to water to each sip and stuff like that. Right now, I'm just kind of trying to get the lay of the land a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we're not ready to get micro yet kind of thing.
Guys, well, let me ask you this too. For those people that watch, and again, this channel is going to continue to grow as we kind of create our whiskey road, if you would. What are the things that keep you and people coming back together outside of cracking a bottle that either you collect or you got friends with? Because this is going to keep us going, I think, blending and having a blast. And the beauty about it is Richard, to say the least, is going to become a master blender. Literally, the master blender. And he's going to learn more. I think what have you learned about yourself in this process, man?
Well, so it's funny, you don't even learn, you learn that you have a talent for something. For instance, if you're good at playing football, you learn that because you start playing football and you play against other people, and so then you happen to be better against competition or something like that. When it's something solo like this, you don't even know that you have a knack for it or that you know what I mean? There is no kind of learning what I'm good at through, my senses or through my palate or things that I've already figured out. And then also learning kind of the things that I need to work on or the things that I need to develop. So all of that through this process is because kind of like we were talking about before, there isn't necessarily a school or there's and a lot of it is on the job and learning through doing, and just like cooking, you know what I mean? You couldn't learn how to cook outside of a kitchen. If I just had to teach you how to cook with these are the ingredients and you can smell them and you can taste them and this is the instructions for how to do it and now you're a chef, now go out, but you've never cooked anything. It doesn't work that way. You have to learn it by doing it. You know what I mean?
Hey, that'd be so fucked walking into a kitchen. Yeah. It's all you ever saw was ingredients and you go to a kitchen doing $20,000 a night, you'll get cooked.
Yeah. So I'm currently, I knew enough to get some trust, but I learn more every single day by doing. And every barrel's different, and the way every barrel gets along with every other barrel is different. And kind of the more you get under your belt, the more you learn. Just like a fighter, the more fights you fight, the more you learn how to fight. The more
you just hope you don't get knocked out.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. You hope you definitely hope you don't get knocked out. Yeah, I picked a little bit of a safer profession, I think. But very much in the same thing.
Not only knock you out as a whiskey, I can see Richard in his chair right now holding the cup, gone. Yeah. Just slept.
So this one drinks hotter, but this one still has a sharpness, but I feel like it's still going the right way. I'm going to ramp up the Larceny one more. I'm going to go 5-4.
Oh, so now, look, we're 1 point away from it being
50-50, yep. Because I feel like it's getting better and better each time.
Now, is that also because you've now had a few sips under your belt?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. That's the other thing, too. When you start blending, go back tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because as you do start drinking, things start tasting better and better and better. Hey, especially if you're drinking and blending with friends and having fun, you know, it definitely works that way.
The more we blend, the less you care about how it tastes. You're like, man, this whiskey's getting good, man. Yeah. Next thing you know, you somewhere asleep, like, man, somebody reviewed the tape. What happened? And it's all because it was never about the blend at that point.
Yeah.
Past a certain point, we just drinking whiskey.
The night you're blending, always the last blend is the best blend you did. And then you go back the next day, it's like, it might have been, you know, a few before that. It's funny the way that works out. Yeah.
So we going 5-4 now.
Yes, sir.
You got that fucking, what's that thing called?
The pipette?
That pipette down pat, brother.
Oh, man, this thing's great.
That thing confused the shit out of me when we was blending that stuff. I didn't know what was happening. And Larceny is a good bottle, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good little, I like the pour. And I think it's probably also because I'm so accustomed to the blendery being 108, 105 up. Like, so the other stuff literally tastes like water to me damn near.
Ooh. It smells nice, man.
This dude literally gets goosebumps when he finds magic in a bottle. Remember that song? Yeah. It used to be on Guitar Hero. Message in a bottle. That could be your theme song, bro.
It smells rich, man.
I'm going to put a message in this bottle for you guys. Buy these bottles and make it a thing. I used to love playing that on the guitar Hero. I'm going to find that game again. Watch your step.
I like that better than this. And I like that better than this. And that's always the goal to me. If you can take these two things and you can arrange them in a way that you like them better than either of them by itself,
it tastes way
you've elevated it.
Well, check this out. We're going to reverse some of the camera stuff. I want Jamarcus has a good palate, better than mine, and you clearly do. So I want his perspective, and we want to get him pairing, if not tasting, all three bottles, and then blend him a little swig of that, so he can give us perspective on his thoughts.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'll make everything we did. So we started with the 5.2. I'll make a little bit more of that, and the 5.3.
Just give him. He's got a good palate, and you've got great notes already. So we got two great bottles. We'll start. He'll try this, and then you make the blend and see if it's better.
Perfect. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Which one got it? So stay tuned, people. As we know, is I think he was born on Whiskey Row, almost 40 years ago. That's just how we start our night. I'm trying to flex, trapping.
There's just the blend. That's the blend.
Yeah, you can use those cups too, boss, if you want, man.
Either way, don't matter. That's just the Larceny, and then this is just the.
Yeah, boy, that's a good pour right there, man.
Kentucky Spirit.
Yep.
And you started here, right?
Yep. And I'll make a little bit more of the blend. Just 5 and 4. So 4.
I'd like to get some chocolate notes on this personally.
On the Larceny?
On the the Spirit, the Kentucky Spirit.
5.
Dude's a professional blender. Look, you going into that science mode. That's why we got to get the right cup.
Yeah, seriously, he's like in the zone right now.
That's how I am when I'm doing my dog thing, man. Like, I'm like this. Oh, I know what to do. That little pipe, they got gas, huh?
Oh man, this thing's got some miles on it. Keep waiting for this thing to finally break on me.
Where did you buy it from?
This is
I'm over here like, why is it so hot? I didn't get the warm up sip. That's what it was, the Elijah. So I was like, man.
when I first started helping, I got sent home with this. So it's about well over a year old.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but it was used when I got it too.
Is that the pipe that you blended pump like to?
That is the one.
That's the
This
plum.
is the one.
Dang.
Yeah. Remember it by that crack right there.
Damn, Richard got that. That's
the one.
You got to save that, man.
Yeah, that's those little pieces that you hang on to.
So remember that first pipette you got? It changed everything. So thoughts on both bottles so far, man?
Brings the heat a little bit.
I can definitely see the heat, especially on the back end on this one, on the Larceny. That one, it hits up front and then kind of just mellows out. And I get a little more chocolate notes on this one. This one I can tell is a little bit sweeter. Like I said, my palate just jumped right into this. So, but I feel like I can't get anything off the nose on this one though. That's just me personally.
And this is a wheated bourbon.
Okay.
And then here's instead of rye, they use wheat.
No, I mean from a flavor standpoint. My bad. I should have asked.
No, sure. So it can mean different things depending upon the bill and the content and stuff like that. But generally, some people say they get more cherry on wheat. Some people think they get more like hazelnut things on wheat, or so. It can be all over the place.
And that's a good point, because I know when we're drinking our bourbons, it's supposed to do what? It's like corn, so you're supposed to get the caramels and all that sweet stuff that you're familiar with. Candy corns, all that little stuff.
Yeah.
So you say wheat, I'm like, bro, I don't really like bread like that. Bread made me sick.
So wheat replaces the rye, and so if you've ever had even just just a wheat whiskey, you do understand that some spice does come from wheat in the same way that you get some spice on rye, but I think it is softer generally.
Yeah, I get Nutella on the nose on this one. That's funny.
So we elevated the chocolate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brought on more of that chocolate. We soften the proof.
Yeah, definitely softened the proof. Got smooth all the way through. Oh man, very balanced on both the front and back. And it is a little bit sweeter too. Oh man, that drink's real nice.
Did we shorten the finish?
Yeah, no, that drink's real nice, because I don't know about shortening the finish. I mean, I think it's still lingering
good
in a good way.
Yeah, that's. I hate a short finish, man.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
and that stays balanced all the way through from front to back. The first sip, like I said, hit me up front on the Kentucky Spirit. This one was more on the back, where it's just like, woo. But then I think you, like you said, putting them together, you balanced it out, man.
Nice.
And like I said, I had Nutella on the nose now too. And then, oh man.
So that's a message in the bottle. That you want to eat some Nutella
Oh yeah.
cake.
I get peanut butter too. If you smell it, you get peanut butter. Even like the inside of a Reese's, maybe.
Like Baba said that, or a Nutter Butter.
Yeah.
Man,
I know a lot about candy.
I got a sweet tooth personally, so.
I don't know nothing to be. I'm like, another butter. What is that?
I like that, man. That goes all the way through, and that's one of those ones you just hang out and just kind of, you can literally chill on that.
Oh yeah, even butter, like butter crunch, like the inside of a Butterfinger.
Ooh, yeah, there you go, Butterfinger.
Yeah.
There it is.
So that blend got better as you.
It's great.
And I feel like as it opens up with the air too, I feel like it's going to do more to it.
It like ramps up all the way to the back end. Like you think, okay, here's the proof. I'm about to get beat up, and then it stops.
That's what
it
I'm
just
saying.
turns it off, and then it just goes right into the finish. Yeah.
Good balance, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
Me too. It's a good blend.
That was good, man.
Well, there you have it.
That's
people.
crazy,
So-
man, how you just did that just
Yeah.
off those two things. Well, I didn't get to see it the last time, so I'm like, man.
So we use the Kentucky Straight Barrel.
Yeah, and there's the pick that it is. So the company
Look
that
at
did
mine, yeah, I
the
didn't
pick
get
and
that.
what they called it.
Mr. Bruce's Neighborhood.
Yep.
And then we used Larceny, which you can buy at any store or no?
You actually, I was at a liquor store earlier today, and this was sitting on the shelf. Not this batch. They do 3 batches a year. They'll do an A, a B, and a C. And then it'll be the 24 will be the year afterwards. The 5 is because it's May, but January, February, March. Yeah, sorry.
And what's the difference between the A, B, and C?
It's a different batch every year, so it's just a different proof and a different batch. People try to get all 3 to see what their favorite batch of the year was. A lot of people chase the C, or they think the B batches are better every year, but it's just they do 3 every year.
Nice, man.
So those two things at a 5-4 ratio.
Yes.
This is 5.
This is 4.
4 here.
Yep, and 5 here.
And 5 here.
Yeah.
And boom, you've got basically a message in the bottle.
Yeah, it's great.
So we got everybody's perspective. Richard did what he does best. We're going to do another blend and see if we can cover with one more thing, guys. We appreciate you watching. As always, keep it whiskey.